Welcome to Duggar News 24, your daily source for the latest updates, headlines, and deep dives into the world of the Duggars. Subscribe and stay informed 24/7. Counting on alum Amy Duggar King is releasing a tell-all book later this year. Amy is known for being the Duggar family's rebellious cousin. She has openly expressed her disappointment towards Jim Bob's parenting and the IBLP's questionable teachings. She has also teased spilling the tea multiple times, and it seems she's finally ready to reveal it all. Keep reading to see more details about her memoir. Amy and Dylan have been going through some troubles over the past few months. Dylan is facing a lawsuit after failing to pay rent on his restaurant business. The Counting on alum has already taken legal steps, but he's not happy about being ordered to pay $156,000 for the second half of his unpaid rent. He's also asking for the judge to reconsider its punishment fee, which was set at $236,000. But despite all the legal troubles, Amy and Dylan raised some eyebrows for still going on trips and dining at expensive restaurants. She also had the time to announce a book, which will be released this year. Amy Duggar King recently announced a new tell-all book titled Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade While Getting Louder with the Truth. The title speaks for itself. According to the synopsis, the memoir will feature Amy's rough past of being silenced until she found her God-given voice. The description also has a cryptic message saying that there are many ways people abuse and manipulate, and the worst thing is that those people can be a loved one. The book will also tell the story about how Amy became Crazy Cousin Amy, a title that has led many people to think that she has always been the black sheep in the family. It also states how the Counting on alum intentionally dissociated herself from the Duggar family, especially when things became too toxic. The memoir also aims to help readers find themselves and help them trust their instincts, which is something that Amy did when she saw that something was wrong in the Duggar family. The description adds, "God loves you, and He's given you an authentic voice to use for His glory. No matter what you've been told or how you've been manipulated in the past, freedom is waiting for you today. It's time to use your voice." Amy Duggar King also made the book announcement on her IG page, and many people showed support, but one of them was her cousin Jill, who has also stepped away from the Duggar family's beliefs. The Counting on alum commented, "Love you, proud of you. You are brave and are a voice for many. I look forward to reading your story." Many fans also shared their thoughts on Amy's memoir. "Proud of you, my friend, for sharing your story. Love you, about time for cousin Amy. I am so ready for this. I'm looking forward to reading your book. I love your sincerity and your love for life and the truth. Yes, she's always been the most outspoken, and I just know this book is going to be great." It took quite a while before Amy Duggar King finally finished her book. Some of the first people whom she told about the memoir were Jill and Derek. The Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade While Getting Louder with the Truth. For years, Amy Duggar King has lived in the shadows of one of America's most controversial reality TV families. Known to fans as Cousin Amy, the outspoken and free-spirited niece of Jim Bob Duggar captured public attention for being different, decidedly and unapologetically different, from the rest of her ultra-conservative relatives, featured on 19 Kids and Counting and its spin-off, Counting On. But now, Amy is ready to tell her story on her terms. On June 17, 2025, Amy shocked her followers with a monumental announcement. She's publishing a memoir. And not just any memoir. This one promises to peel back the carefully curated curtain of Duggar family life to expose the truth she says has been buried for far too long. Titled Holy Disruptor, Shattering the Shiny Facade While Getting Louder with the Truth. Amy's book is set to hit shelves on October 14, 2025. And fans are already bracing themselves for what's expected to be a raw, emotional, and deeply honest account of growing up on the edge of a family empire built on rules, silence, and image. Amy Duggar King has always stood apart from her more famous cousins. While the Duggar daughters were often seen in long skirts, promoting courtship culture and preaching strict religious values, Amy was more likely to be spotted in jeans, listening to secular music, and questioning the family's rigid beliefs. Born to Deanna Duggar, Jim Bob's sister, Amy was raised in a more mainstream Christian environment, away from the teachings of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP, that shaped much of the Duggar worldview. Amy's relationship with the rest of the Duggars has long been a topic of speculation. While she appeared on earlier seasons of 19 Kids and Counting, her presence noticeably diminished as the years went on. Rumors swirled about family tension, particularly after Amy began speaking out against abuse, control, and religious manipulation, much of which mirrored the controversies involving Josh Duggar and the family's ties to the IBLP's disgraced leader, Bill Gothard. In her memoir announcement, Amy doesn't mince words. There are many ways people abuse and manipulate others. What's worse is when the abuser is someone who's supposed to love you. Holy Disruptor promises to delve into what Amy calls her journey of reclaiming her God-given voice. According to the book's description, readers will follow Amy through her struggle of being silenced by family, by religion, and by a culture that prioritized appearances over truth. The memoir will cover everything from her childhood in Arkansas to her strained relationship with the Duggar family and her decision to intentionally dissociate from them when things became too toxic. She writes about the process of finding clarity and strength in the midst of familial dysfunction. Amy doesn't just want to tell her story, she wants to help others find theirs. God loves you, and He's given you an authentic voice to use for His glory, she writes. No matter what you've been told or how you've been manipulated in the past, freedom is waiting for you today. Amy's announcement garnered waves of support online, particularly from someone who knows all too well what it means to break away from the Duggar lifestyle, her cousin, Jill Duggar Dillard. Jill, who also published a memoir in 2023 titled Counting the Cost, was among the first to comment publicly on Amy's Instagram post. "Love you. Proud of you," Jill wrote. "You are brave and are a voice for many. I look forward to reading your story." Their mutual support has become a source of encouragement for fans who followed both women's journeys away from the family's ultra-conservative ideology. The two have often been seen spending time together, bonding over their shared experiences and building a future based on freedom, not fear. Amy's journey to publication hasn't been entirely smooth. Over the past several months, Amy and her husband, Dylan King, have faced personal and legal challenges that cast a shadow over their public image. Dylan, who owns a restaurant business, has been embroiled in a lawsuit for failure to pay rent, resulting in a court-ordered payment of $156,000, with an additional $236,000 in fees pending review. Despite these financial woes, the couple raised eyebrows by continuing to take vacations and dine at high-end restaurants, prompting some fans to question their priorities. Amy, however, remains focused on the bigger picture. She hasn't directly addressed the criticism, choosing instead to focus her energy on her book and on promoting healing, self-awareness, and spiritual growth. The book's title, Holy Disruptor, is no accident. Amy sees herself as someone who challenged the status quo, not out of rebellion for its own sake, but out of a deep desire for truth and freedom. She believes that sometimes being labeled disruptive is exactly what's needed to break generational cycles of abuse and control. The memoir will also explain how she earned the moniker Crazy Cousin Emmy, a label she says was used to discredit her, when in reality, it stemmed from her refusal to conform. Emmy hopes her story will resonate with others who have felt ostracized, misjudged, or voiceless within their own families, churches, or communities. She aims to inspire them to trust their instincts, reclaim their power, and find peace on the other side of pain. The response to Amy's announcement has been overwhelmingly positive. Her post on Instagram received thousands of likes and hundreds of supportive comments within hours. Fans expressed admiration for her courage and vulnerability. "Proud of you, my friend, for sharing your story. Love you. About time for Cousin Amy. I am so ready for this. I'm looking forward to reading your book. I love your sincerity and your love for life and the truth." One fan perfectly summed up the collective feeling. "She's always been the most outspoken, and I just know this book is going to be great." Writing Holy Disruptor has been a long journey for Amy. According to insiders, she began outlining the book nearly 2 years ago, shortly after the Duggar family faced public scrutiny following Josh Duggar's arrest and subsequent conviction. Amy, who had already been vocal about her support for the victims, felt a calling to say more, but only when the time was right. Jill and her husband Derek Dillard were among the first to hear about the book project. Emmy reportedly confided in them during a family gathering, explaining that she wanted to offer something healing, not only to herself, but to anyone who had felt lost in silence. Now, with the finish line in sight, Emmy is ready to step fully into the role of author, truth-teller, and advocate. As October 14 approaches, anticipation is building. Emmy has already teased a book tour, podcast appearances, and possibly even a documentary project surrounding the memoir. She's hinted that there are more revelations to come, some that didn't even make it into the book. For fans of Counting On and for those who followed the Duggar family saga from the beginning, Holy Disruptor is shaping up to be a watershed moment. But more than that, it's a personal declaration from a woman who refused to be silenced. Emmy Duggar King is no longer just the rebel cousin. She's an author, a survivor, a disruptor with holy purpose.